What is up guys, Vortex here, and today I'm going to be showcasing you another game of me playing Bagra Army, and my opponent is playing something quite interesting. He's playing Vikemon. I think it's one of his favourite Digimon, so there's a lot of playable cards potentially in this, so you also try it out, and I think it went pretty well for him, as you'll see. So he gets a pretty good start of the Gomamon, and then the Matashida, blue Matashida. I haven't seen that in ages, quite frankly. If you are new to the channel, by the way, please do feel free to subscribe to the channel. I am trying to upload every other day. So if you like the gameplay videos, the deck profiles, and more videos to come, do subscribe. Anyways, my turn's pretty good here. I get to swing twice. Both go under Uemano, so I have pretty good setup for a Tactimon or a Blastmon if I want to. And so, but I end my turn here by just going into the Choo-Choo-Mon because it gets him to free, and it also just applies a little bit more pressure, so I can save underneath Uemano next turn. And for the search, I go for the Mad Leomon because it is kind of just the best card in the deck, quite frankly. So my opponent here's got a pretty aggressive turn here. He isn't going to swing though. He goes straight to the Vikemon, and Vikemon's quite interesting, especially in this matchup, because a lot of the stuff I play out tends to be without a Digi-Evolution source. For example, when I play Tactimon, two of them come without Digi-Evolution sources, so it's quite interesting in that regard. I play the Buzzing Fist here. I add the Choo-Choo-Mon to... I think that's just like a massive misplay on my behalf. I think there I should have just put the Choo-Choo-Mon underneath when trashing it, and then add the Tactimon, but I probably already had one in hand if I'm correct. Then I play another U, and then I play another Buzzing Fist, and I think this is where I like mess up this turn essentially. I feel like I could be a lot more aggressive looking back on this now. Potentially playing a Tactimon or Blastmon a lot more this turn essentially. But I think in this situation, the reason why I go for the Choo-Choo-Mon in hand is because I want to have something to Digivolve onto the Demi-Verimon, because I don't think I had anything at that time. As you can see, I just Digivolved there, so basically just trying to guarantee that I do have game on the following turn. And so I'm just looking at my trash here just so I can really figure out what I can bring out with the Tactimon here. But I'm actually just going to Digicross for the Mad Leomon here. So a bit risky for sure, because obviously I don't know what kind of cards he's playing in this deck. It's obviously a very fun deck, so I'm not too sure if he has, like hybrids and stuff like that in his deck essentially. So he swings multiple times, none of them die because I hit a missed memory boost and a Uemano, and then he plays this option card which caused quite a bit of confusion at the end of the game, but basically it just means if it doesn't have a Digi-Evolution source, it can't attack. So we had a ruling check on this one, looked at the official Q&A, which is good on Digimon to actually do, to be fair, because I think they're quite useful. But essentially, just means Digi-Evolution sources can't attack this turn, but if you Digivolve into something and it becomes a Digimon source, you can attack with it. So that's what I assume anyway. So I swing, that one dies, I gain a memory and draw an additional card. And then I swing with the Mad Leomon, and then I Digivolve for game. And so we get into game 2, and I get to start off first, which is obviously what I wanted this deck, because I want to set up a pretty good start of a level 3 and also the Tamer. But unfortunately I have to hard play the Eyes 1 scatter mode here, so I kind of already assume that this is going to be a bit of a trap shoot, and unfortunately that gives enough memory to the opponent to go into Zudomon. A lot of these EX-1 cards I actually don't know very well, so had to read some of these cards, but essentially it's kind of attacking into stuff that doesn't have sources. So I finally find the level 3 from the Izemon, and then I get to play the Damimon, which plays the Uemano, but unfortunately I am giving a lot of memory again to the opponent, so he's able to go into the Vikemon, which usually has a pretty bad downside because it costs 4 to go into, but unfortunately I can't really do much about that, and he goes into the Gomumon, and so I promote, and I start to realise that I need to apply some more pressure. I swing with the Damimon so I can hopefully get the save. Unfortunately, I don't get it. I swing with the Gabu, and then obviously I get the save there. So I'm just checking what card to discard, and so discard the Mad Leomon. I play a Buzzing Fist here, and unfortunately I don't get any cards that I particularly need, but I do get the Tamer and also get to put the Choo-Choo-Mon underneath. So it's not that bad, but I was hoping for more there for sure. Hopefully finding, you know, maybe another Mad Leomon in that situation and not the Tamer, because I think in this situation, like, I won't have enough time or to give him to play another Tamer essentially. And so I Digicross for on play with the Damimon here, so I avoid him getting an additional security attack with the Vikemon. And so I swing a security. It's a missed memory boost, which is really good in this situation because it allows me to potentially do a lot more on my turn. But unfortunately, what I realise is this deck doesn't really have much searching or draw power. So essentially, the Mad Leomon's kind of dead in this situation. And at this point, I'm kind of in a pickle because I can't really win from this situation because there is obviously the Vikemon out. I swing and he goes to a Tidal Wave. Now the Tidal Wave here is actually quite interesting because he gets to put out sources, and yeah, in this situation I had a Def X-Mon, so it definitely would have helped, but my opponent played around it correctly, even if he didn't really know what he was doing, quite frankly. But I believe him. He knew what he was doing. Essentially, you know, he played around it very well because now he has the Zudomon out, which means that doesn't die from the Def X, and I can't deal with the Ikaku in raising. So he's going to be able to get the 2 memory either way, and I play the Def X-Mon for 5, giving him 3 essentially, and then deleting everything except for the Zudomon in Ikaku. So at this point I'm just kind of hoping that I find something in security, like the Def the Cannon, but he plays around by going to the level 5, and this is risky because essentially if he finds anything it'll be game, but I lose and we go to game 3. And so we get into game 3 here, and I get to start off again, and I found a rookie, so I'm feeling a little bit better than before for sure here. Yeah, so what I've realised with Bagra Army is that I don't want to say a bad deck, but like when you're playing against like lower power decks for sure, you have less plays that you can do because they don't search as much. Which becomes a bit of a problem because you kind of want them to search to activate Mad Leomon's effects, but they do obviously have on-play effects with stuff like, you know, just by playing Digimon out like my opponent did before, you know, which works well. So I'm going to swing a security. The Damimon obviously does not die because why would it? And so, you know, I'm getting some aggression in because I know that this is essentially just a, like, whoever can rush each other first. So I go to the Izemon scatter mode here, and the reason why is because I kind of want to cycle a lot of cards so I can prepare for like a Tactimon kind of play. So he swings into security, and it is a Tactimon itself, so I think I called it, and you can see me, I put my thumbs up there, because I was like, the only way you lose in this situation is if it's a Tactimon, and he hit the Tactimon. So I swing it with the Damimon, I lose 2 memory, and it doesn't die, so it passes turn. So I'm still applying a lot of pressure here. It's just obviously not at the level I want it to be. So now it's my turn again. I have 2 Digimon on board, so hopefully I can set up game next turn. Again, it doesn't die, and again, it doesn't die. So you can see, like, it's pretty good in this situation for me, because obviously they're staying alive, so my opponent has to deal with them. But it's kind of frustrating, because obviously the key mechanic of this deck is searching and saving underneath a tamer. So the Zudamon swings into security, it hits into a Mad Leomon, and if he doesn't have a board wipe here, it's pretty much game. So he goes into the Tidal Wave here for a bit of fun, gains a memory and passes turn. So essentially I'm just hoping that there's nothing in security, there isn't, and we go for game.